呢篇文啊仲煩啲喎。嗱，考試見到深嘅文章，你個 topic 完全未接觸過咧，都唔可以驚，保持冷靜，用推敲、推敲、推敲之前教嘅所有技巧，連接詞、推敲、連接詞、推敲，估個意思出嚟。Is there anybody out there to wanna search for extra 外邊嘅意思？Terrestrial 一啲外界嘅 intelligence，外界嘅生物。The question of whether we are alone of the universe has haunted humanity, 人類 for centuries, but we may now stand poised on the brink of the answer to that question. 企喺個 brink 嘅一個邊緣啊，企喺個邊緣度，咁即係跌咗落未啊？企喺個邊緣即係好似有答案，好似冇答案。As we search for real signals for other intelligent civilizations，外星人可能聰明過我哋，所以我哋稱呼佢為 intelligent。佢哋可能比我哋更加進步，所以叫 civilization。Search known as SDTI search for 呢樣嘢 is a difficult one. Although groups around the world have been searching intermittently 不間斷地，即係 continuously，唔使俾呢個字嚇驚。For 3 decades 30年繼續揾答案。We have reached the level of technology where we can make a determined attempt. Attempt 咩 attempt 嘗試啊 ？Determined attempt 即係決心嘗試。To search all nearby stars for any sign of life。呢段嘅重點就係人類想決心揾呢啲嘢出嚟。A. The primary reason 主要原因 for the search is basically curiosity. The same curiosity about natural world that drives all pure science. We want to know whether we are alone in the universe. 留意用大界 We all know whether life evolves naturally. Evolves 係個動詞。If given the right conditions and whether there is something very special about the earth have fostered the variety係多元化啦 ，foster 推進人類嘅多元化 ，foster the variety of life forms that we see around us on the planet. And simple detection of the radio signal will be sufficient 即係足夠，即係 enough to answer this most basic all questions in this sense。呢一個 program 頭先我第一段縮寫咗啦。And our clock in machinery of pure science, which is continually pushing out of the horizon of our knowledge。繼續將我哋嘅知識 level 向前推，連接詞 however 出現喎，但係 there are other reasons for being interested。preposition 後邊跟 ing for being interested in whether life exists elsewhere。最 fundamental 就係 fundamental 點解啲人咁 interested in 咧？就係想知有冇 life exists。For example, we have。For example 係解類後邊舉例，所以前邊先係重點間低，所以真正嘅重點係 there are other reasons for。下邊係一定講 reasons。We have a civilization on Earth, or perhaps 考試一定會問你嘅原因。Only a few thousand years and the threat of nuclear war pollution over the last few decades have told us that our survival may be tenuous。tenuous 你唔使識解 ，survival 生存可能存在疑問或者好難咯，所以佢一定問你呢個字點解嘅喎，咁你咪揀呢個貶義詞咯。And will we last another 2,000 years, or will we wipe ourselves out？消失於空間。And since lifetime of planet like ours，考試會問你 hours 咩意思？第四類嘅字記唔記得？Our lifetime 咯，咪就係講緊。We can expect that if other civilization we hear from is likely好似好可能嘅意思。On average, far older than ourselves，因為我哋未見過佢，所以好似係，好似唔係。如果你見過佢就唔使揾啦，你揾得即係未見過佢。And the mere existence of such a civilization tells us that long-term survival is possible。呢個咪就係原因咯。我哋要揾緊呢個 long-term survival and give us cause for optimism 樂觀啊。It is possible。咁你揾嘅時候梗係 optimistic 噶啦，你唔會 pessimistic 悲觀去揾嘢。It is even possible that older civilization may pass on the benefits of their experience in dealing with preposition 加 ing 或 in deal with 處理咯。Threats of survival such as nuclear war and global pollution。第二個原因就係處理 nuclear war，第三個原因就係 global pollution 同埋其他嘅 threats。考試佢一定會問你，所以佢第一句寫 primary reason。primary reason 係純粹 curious，但係 curious 要使錢，使錢有原因。Reason 1 curious. Reason 2 survival. Reason 3 nuclear war. Reason 4 possible solution. Reason 5 deal with other threats。A 段就係講到人類點解啊 要做咁多嘢，燒咁多錢去做呢個 research。In discussing preposition 緊係 ing。Whether we alone, these scientists adopt two ground rules. 有兩個規矩要遵守。First, UFOs unidentified flying objects. Unidentified 係一個形容詞或者一個 present 或者 past participle。Generally ignore 被動句 B 加 BP 係被忽略喎。Since most scientists don't consider the evidence 證據 evidence for them to be strong enough to bear serious consideration. Although it is also important to keep an open mind 保持一個開放嘅態度。簡單係 keep an open mind in case 或者可能 any real convincing evidence emerges 出現 emerges。And second, we make a very conservative assumption 好保守嘅假設 conservative 嘅反義詞 modern。And that we are looking for a life form that is pretty well like us since it differs 嗱 differs 係個動詞就係 difference 嘅阿媽啦 different 就係嚟自 differ 係個動詞喎 radically 極端地啊 as we may not well recognize it as a life form apart from 即係除了 whether we are able to communicate with it in other words 簡單 in other words 換言之後邊即係重點咯。The life form we are looking for may well have 2 green hands and 7 fingers, but it will nevertheless 但係間低連接詞 resemble us 好似我哋 resemble 動詞嚟 in that it should communicate with its fellows interested in the universe like us, a planet orbiting a star like our sun, perhaps most restrictively have a chemistry like us based on carbon and water。 呢個就係講可能好似人，可能好唔似人。所以 ground rule 係咩？Ground rule 就係好多 scientists 唔 consider。scientists 翻 B 嘅第二行係 First, UFOs are generally ignored since most scientists don't consider the evidence for them to be strong enough to bear serious consideration. Second, we make a conservative assumption that we are looking for a life form that is pretty well like us. 或者 not recognize it， 即係講緊 UFO and 個 life form。See whether we make these assumptions are understanding 理解 of life form is still severely limited。我哋對於我哋嘅生命或者我哋嘅睇法，其他嘅 life forms 係好 limited， 好有限。We do not even know, for example, how many stars have planets. We certainly do not know how likely it is that non-cosmic life will arise naturally and given the right conditions 情況。However, we look at the 10 billion stars in our galaxy and 10 billion galaxies in our observable universe 可觀察嘅 universe is since inconceivable 不能夠想像 conceive 係想像 in 啫唔 conceive 加 able 唔似不能想像啊。Of all these planets do not have a life form and that in fact 簡低 in fact 係個好加強語氣嘅連接詞，後邊一定重點。The best educated guess we can make using a little that we do not know about conditions for carbon-based life lead us to estimate that perhaps 1 in 100,000 stars might have a life-bearing planet orbiting it。咁多粒星或者有一粒有 carbon-based 嘅 life 咧 ，that means our nearest neighbors are perhaps 100個光年 away, which is almost a new door in 呢一個 terms。所以你見唔見到作者其實有個 preference 或者佢一個立場啊個 stance 係佢似乎支持呢啲 research， 因為佢話有啲 possibilities， 雖然個機率好低，但係佢冇否定。D 咯。An alien civilization could choose many different ways of sending information across。頭先講到要揾佢哋點樣 communicate 啊嘛。But many of these either require too much energy or else severely 唔使理呢個字，distance across。咁你要估個 A 字同埋個 T 字嘅生字。佢話 vast differences across galaxies。咁 T 字咪應該估係咩啊？穿梭或者行嘅意思。佢話 a severely 之前係講到 could choose many different forms， 跟住話 but many of these 唔會 require much energy， 如果唔係咧就乜嘢穿過 galaxy。It turns out that 繼續向下邊再估翻上 for a given amount of 呢個 transmitted power 傳送嘅 power radio waves in the frequency range 1000 to 3000 the unit 唔需要理。The greater distance all searches today have concentrated 而家嘅 research 只係集中 look for radio radio waves in this frequency range. So far, there have been present perfect. Well, there be a present perfect have been a number of 即係好多咯 researchers by various groups around the world, including Australian 做咗呢個 research 啦。跟住咩新南威爾士做 research，就係講揾呢啲 frequency range，佢哋想知佢哋點樣 communicate。如果有嘅。Until now, there have not been any directions from few hundred stars which have been searched，但係做咗好多粒星依然係 no detection at all. The scale 即係個規模咯 ，search has been increased dramatically. 增加 research since 1992年 US Congress 美國國會 voted 10個 billion NASA 美國太空總署。10-year conduct a thorough research， 一個全面 research for 呢啲嘢。Much of the money is being spent on developing special hardware， 去整一啲新嘅 hardware， 呢 search many frequency at once。呢一個 project 有兩個 part 嘅，第一個 part 係 targeted search using the world's largest radio telescope， 用望遠鏡去 search 佢，跟住唔同嘅地方啦，裝咗啦。And this part of project is searching for 頭先講 1,000 to 3,000， right？ 佢哋分咗唔同嘅國家處理唔同嘅 range 啦。Other part of project is undirected search, which is monitoring all space with a lower sensitivity using a smaller antennas 係天線，即係集中 research 有兩 part， 第一 part 係 research 1,000 to 3,000 range， 第二種就係可能1000樓下或者3000樓上嘅嘢。個重點就講到人類點樣去點解或者點樣去知道佢哋有冇 communication， 而至呢一刻係未有 detections。雖然冇 detections， 但係政府或者美國係使咗好多錢去揾呢啲嘢出嚟。呢個就係 D 嘅重點啊。There is considerable debate， 好多爭論咧，跟住跟 over 嘅 debate， 好多爭論，跟住行個 line cross 抄駁落去。There is considerable debate over how， 作兩句俾我。There is considerable debate in Hong Kong over how we spend money. There is considerable debate over how the Hong Kong government should spend their money. If we detect a signal from alien civilization, everybody agrees. Everybody 跟單數 agrees that we should not rely immediately. Reply 唔應該回覆喎。如果收到佢哋 sending 嘅 message， quite apart from 除咗impractical 你識 impractical 變咗 ALITY 名詞唔實際 of sending a reply over a large distance at a short notice raises high ethical questions， 有啲道德問題出咗嚟喎。Should have been addressed， 需要處理 address 呢度唔係解地址，解要處理一個 questions， 我哋會講 address 一個 issue 或者 address 一個 question by global community before any reply could be sent. Could human race face cultural shock？ 有一個文化嘅 shock， 如果我哋真係見到一啲 civilization 係比我哋 superior 嘅優越嘅，同埋 older than 我哋，即係勁過我哋咯。咁人類係咪會反省自己，定係會點樣？唔知。Luckily, there's no urgency about this。喂，又唔係咁 urgent 嘅，咁即係做定咗。The star being searched are hundreds of light years away and takes hundreds of years for their signal to reach us。頭先講到幾百萬光年，佢 send 呢個 signal 係要行幾百萬年，咁即係我哋就算揾到都可能係幾百萬年前佢喺嗰度。哇！呢個好深嘅 science knowledge， 即係你而家見到嗰啲嘢咧，其實唔係即刻，佢係通過光射過嚟咧。光年係一個好長嘅時間。If there is 有興趣再私人問我啦，啲咁深嘅問題呢度唔講。There's a delay of a few hours, years, decades with human race debates the question of whether to reply, perhaps carefully draft a reply。呢度好有趣嗱，上面講啲 research 點做啊，點解要做啲 research 啊？而就喂，如果真係揾到咁，我哋人類又點啊？你夠唔夠膽 reply 啊 ？reply 完又點啊？見唔見到佢嗰啲立場？其實作者係咪真係好支持啲 research 咧？又唔係唔支持喎，佢冇反對，係咪好支持咧？佢又冇講過支持喎，咁即係有立場定冇立場定係冇提過咧？咁要自己動下腦筋嗱。高質素嘅文章咧，唔係死記，係動腦筋。任揀一段讀晒俾我聽，同埋圈動詞嘅，再見。